How are you?
Nothing.
Nothing? Coming out in the mornings is definitely one of the most special things that I really enjoy doing. Last week we were able to move the fence and build this concrete wall, which we're going to put a nice little fence on. But at the moment the weather is starting to change. It is really beautiful in the days, but the nighttime temperature drops. Yesterday and today we had a little bit of frost. There's a couple of things that we need to harvest, and soon we're going to have to move all our stuff into our winter greenhouse so that they don't die from the frost. Some of the things we can keep out for a good couple more weeks because they can handle the lower temperatures. As everybody knows, autumn time is a really busy time for harvesting, so we need to crack on with this so we don't get overwhelmed when the frost really hits. So today we need to crack on. We have some carrots and some other things that we need to get done. So we're working on harvesting all the rows on the outside. A couple of weeks ago we harvested all our red onions and white onions and hang them up so they can start to cure. We still have a row of carrots, leeks, Brussels sprouts, celery and beetroot. Today I want to work on the carrots so we can start to save them and process them so we can store them. And then there's a couple more things that we need to get done outside and move everything into our winter greenhouse. That actually is not too bad. It's been a bit hit and miss with carrots. We tried them last year. Last year we actually started them inside and then transplanted them. That is not a good idea. That's how they go all warped. We did some like that, and we did some direct sowing. So the results on the direct sowing are fantastic. We actually have been harvesting carrots this summer and we still have lots more to do. So I don't know, yeah. Pretty cool. I think we're gonna have enough carrots for this whole winter. All right, let's carry on. Look at all these carrots, Bing. It's only one small section.
I take one.
You take one. You take that one. Wow. Okay, a lot more to do. But what we're actually going to do is we're just going to cut away the green part, wash them down, store them in the fridge. Some of them, because we have quite a lot, we're going to chop down and put in vacuum bags and freeze them so we have carrots the whole winter. The green part we're actually not going to waste. We're going to take that, we're going to dry it, dehydrate it, turn it into a green powder, which is really healthy. We're also going to chop it up and turn it into some sort of pesto. So we're definitely not going to waste the green part as well. But we will give some to our chickens, the rest we'll keep for ourselves. All right, a lot more carrots to pick. So this is our final carrot harvest. It's a lot better than what we had last year. Guessing around 60 or 70 kilos, which is definitely going to be enough for our family for the whole winter. Plus we share this of course with Zula's parents and brother and some family members and things like that. We washed all the carrots because we're not going to store them in a root cellar because we don't have a root cellar. Last year we tried, you can actually store them in sand. That will keep them a bit longer. So we tried that, but it wasn't so successful and we lost a lot of carrots. This year what we're going to do is we're just going to take what we need for the next month and we're going to store that in a fridge, which is totally fine. The rest of them we're just going to cut up and freeze. And if there's some specific recipe that I want to do, if I want to do coleslaw or something like that where I need a fresh carrot, you can get them so readily here from the shop. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to just dry them out for the next day or two. We have some family members coming this weekend and they can just give us a hand to slice them all down so we can vacuum pack them and put them in the freezer. What I need to harvest now, which is black turnip or black radish. It's a really, really good root vegetable, extremely healthy, and it's a great substitute for something like potatoes because this has much lower carbohydrates. It's about 7 grams of carbohydrates where potatoes have got 14 grams. So this is really, really healthy. We didn't grow so much because we don't need so much for the family, but it's yeah, something new, something interesting. Pull this all out, take away all the greens, wash it down, and then get ready to store it. Nice. All I'm doing is just taking away the roots and taking away the green part, because if you don't take away the green part, it'll go soft much faster. So this way it'll store a lot longer. But that's beautiful. That's really, really nice. It's got this really cool skin. Nice. What we've actually done with all the onions is we actually had them hanging up in the woodshed. We left them there to cure for a couple of weeks. What I've actually done now is just cut off the leaves that were dried. This part here is still a little wet. So what you do is you cut it off, put it on trays, keep it in the shade, and we'll let it cure for another week or so. And then it should be perfect to go into storage. Nice. Well, it seems like our pumpkin trellis got hit by frost really, really badly. The last couple of days it's been a bit of a scramble to kind of get everything outside, inside. Now that it is September, and in Mongolia you're having frost every single night now. So everything outside is dying. Of course, we have the summer greenhouse with the polycarbonate. That's gonna buy us a couple of weeks, but it's still getting cold in there. So what I've actually done is starting to move some of the things from the summer greenhouse into the greenhouse, winter greenhouse, which is mostly our chilies and peppers and things like that. We have been moving all of our fruit trees back into the greenhouse here. We have a lot of fig trees and guavas and citrus trees. So that's now into the greenhouse here with the chilies as well. This is going to give us another 2.5 months of chili production. And it's going to allow the fruit trees to continue growing before the winter time where everything will kind of slow down. We have been emptying some of these beds. Of course, we still have lots of tomatoes in here, and like last year, hopefully they will produce all the way until January. But we started to clear some of these beds here because now we kind of need to start planting all of our winter crops and things that we want to start growing now so that we can have a harvest all winter long. Really, really happy having a greenhouse like this because it can extend our season and we can grow all year round. But the only drawback is in the winter time you don't get a break. You got to keep on doing this all year round. When you have a summer greenhouse, winter time you have nothing to do. Oh, a lot of work. The vines are pretty much dead. I've looked at the pumpkins because it hasn't been such a huge hard frost. The pumpkins are still okay, but 1 or 2 of them are starting to get a little bit of freezer burn on them. So what I want to do now is actually take all of the pumpkins I can, separate the ones that I can keep and the ones that I can't keep, and then we can put them in the summer greenhouse so that they can cure for the next week or so. So we can keep as many pumpkins as we can. Oh, very nice and ready. So that's our biggest pumpkin. We have this one next, and then we have another one as well. Very exciting. one pumpkin has actually grown through the trellis and completely stuck. Okay, one out of all of them. All right. See, Daddy have to cut this one out because it's stuck in the pumpkin stuck. Ah, there we go. Got it out, look. Okay, test.
I want it.
Test pumpkin. You want to smell?
I smell here. Yes.
It smells nice.
I smell it.
Oh, thank you. I think that's pretty okay. I mean, this was our very first year actually starting to do pumpkins. We have a lot of these like pity panna style ones that are quite small. Some of them are a little small. I don't know exactly if they're completely ripe or not. We will just have to test. Some of them are bigger, but of course this was our first time, and doing things like pumpkins in Mongolia is always a little bit of a stretch since we only have 80 to 85 days which are completely frost free. So it's always a bit of a challenge to get pumpkins. To have one kind of this size is absolutely fantastic. The trellis actually worked very well. It was just hard with the timing to get the seedlings out. Actually, the first set of seedlings we put out, they all died. So we had to do it again. So timing is very important. But we'll try again, different varieties. And yeah, we learned a lot. And hopefully we can have a better harvest next year. All I've learned is that we cut it a little bit higher. Then it needs to cure in the sun. I'm not going to leave it out because we're going to have frost every night. I'm going to put it in our summer greenhouse and let it be in the sun and let the skins get a little bit harder. Then later on, when they're cured, I might take you in the kitchen and actually show you a nice recipe with pumpkins. So one thing I need to get out is all these cabbages. I don't know why, but we planted some cabbages inside the greenhouse and some outside. The ones outside, of course, are doing a lot better. I think we just had some extra seedlings and we didn't want to waste it, and we had the space. So we put it in here. It didn't actually come out so good. They're really small, and there was a lot more insect damage in here than the ones outside. I want to get them out and turn them into some sauerkraut. It's always nice to have, especially with some pork. Oktoberfest is coming, so we need sauerkraut. A lot better. Outside, greenhouse. Outside is better. Look, Flamey, cabbage. A really big cabbage. Look, Daddy can make some sauerkraut. The one thing we're taking care of is all our sunflowers. We did a lot more this year, so it's really fantastic. They attracted so many bees this year. It's really, really great. Now that it's getting frosty and they're dying back, we're just cutting off the sunflowers, brushing away the little flowers, and underneath here is all the sunflower seeds. So yeah, we're gonna just take all the sunflower seeds and roast them. Let's take them inside and show you what I'm going to do with them. You want Daddy to start?
Do you like this?
It's so cute, a small sunflower.
This is big. This is big, Daddy. Done.
Done. Not yet. Good job picking, Flemmy.
I don't want to do this.
Weighing all the tomatoes. We just kind of figured out that scratching it makes it the easiest to kind of come out. Now that we have all of our sunflower seeds, the best to roast them off.
Daddy, put this inside there.
Yeah, I will do. It's best to roast them off as fresh as possible. It gives it a better flavor. Before we roast it off, I made a salt brine, which is some warm water. For 2 liters of warm water, I used 150 grams of salt. Mix it up, and then I'm going to take the sunflower seeds.
No, I have to do it.
Oh, okay, sorry, you can do a little bit. Throw them into the brine. I'm going to put a plate on here to get them into the water, and I'm going to let them soak until tomorrow, so about 24 hours. They say 12 to 24 hours.
Why do that?
Why did I do that? Because this is going to give it a nice salty little flavor to them. And then tomorrow I will take them out of the salt brine, dry them off, and roast them in the oven. Thank you. So,
Ah!
okay, did you need to get a plate? So,
Why you put water there?
yeah, so it's going to suck up all the salt water. It's going to add more flavor. And then tomorrow we can roast it in the oven.
Ah.
Okay.